The US has a student debt problem. Outstanding student loan debt is now $1.7 trillion, and it's holding Americans back from buying houses, getting married, even having children. I feel deeply for those struggling under the crushing weight of student loans. It's clear something has to change. But a one time student loan bailout simply isn't the answer. The federal government is largely to blame for the ballooning cost of college education in America, as well as the problem of degree inflation, where that hard won college degree barely qualifies you to work or shop till. To even begin bringing college to a more affordable price, we need less federal intervention, not more. We need government to clear the way for private charities and private innovators to implement creative, diverse solutions for further education, job training, and higher ed funding.
Why should we forgive student debt? Well, student debt is currently crushing our economy and hurting millions of American families. The solution to it with the president is very quick and easy. We can do it immediately. We can do it without a Senate filibuster, and it can provide some economic relief to American families in the very, very near future. Millennials are the first generation that are set to be poorer than their parents. It is affecting the decisions they are making about housing, about childbearing, and their careers. Is this the perfect solution to jumpstart our economy? No, it's a yes and solution. It will provide some immediate relief, but then we also need to look at what else needs to happen to help this generation. Things like paid family leave, raising the minimum wage, college expense overall, and student lending.
Hello, I'm David Grasso, and welcome back to another Millennial Minute. Today's hot button topic: should student loans be forgiven? You've already heard from our guests, Murti, she's the Executive Director of Feminists for Liberty, and Democratic strategist Nicole Brener Schmitz. So, really big deal here. According to NerdWallet, the average household owes a whopping $47,000 in student debt. So, Nicole, you say forgive. Kat, you say address the problem. Do you think really, Kat, that borrowers should be held responsible? Should we really hold them to they signed for this, so we should make them, go through the pain of paying it back?
Well, I don't think it's about making them go through the pain of paying it back, right? Clearly we have a problem, but we have to realize how that problem started. The cost of college started ballooning whenever the federal government got involved. Now, over 80% of college funding is in the form of federal loans, and colleges realize that they can charge however much they want because the federal government will keep paying. All that's going to happen when we have these bailouts is, yes, we'll help those people right then, but we're going to have generations of people after them who are going to have the exact same problems, and those costs are going to continue to go up. Meanwhile, the funding for those bailouts is largely going to come out of the pockets of folks who maybe chose not to go to college because they didn't have the families with the credit connections, or otherwise just couldn't afford to even get those loans in the first place.
Yeah, Nicole, obviously a lot of people, need relief. It's good for the economy, right? But does this really solve the problem, right? Let's say we wipe away all student debt. Won't the next generation just accumulate more?
Right, it absolutely doesn't solve the problem all by itself. We certainly need to look at, why does college astronomical cost in the United States? Most countries look at college as something that's a good benefit for society and make it a much more affordable goal to attain. But this does give us a jump start on the economy. It allows a lot of families who are sitting under crushing debt, particularly people who are Black or Hispanic. We see that white college graduates are able to pay back their debts much quicker and faster, while folks of color are continually to be crushed under this debt if we forgive it and then move forward. But moving forward with what Kat said, looking at how are we lending this money. However, I don't think it has to be completely paid back from the federal government in that way that was described. Certainly, we can look at the billionaire tax cuts and the corporate tax loopholes as a way to provide some of the money that the federal government would need to then cover the cost of covering these loans.
So, Kat, one of the big hot button issues right now, right, is that this type of program of student loan forgiveness would be very politically popular, but there are some doubts whether it's economically smart or even fair, right? Because most people don't go to college, right? And if people choose not to go to college, why should people who didn't go to college be paying for their decisions?
Right. Right, exactly. Nicole brought up a good point, which is that white college students who take out these loans are often more able to pay them off. They're also more often the ones who are able to graduate. Black and brown college students who take out these loans oftentimes don't even graduate, and when they do, they're not able to pay them off, right? But we have to look at who's getting the loans in the first place, and oftentimes it's wealthier folks who have access to these loans who are able to get that. So, I mean, just as a matter of fairness, the current system isn't fair. Again, I certainly feel for the people who are being crushed under this, but we have to look again at the cause, and the cause is federal government policies. And I simply don't believe that letting the federal government get more involved in this is going to fix the problem, when we've seen the more and more they get involved, the worse the problem becomes.
Yeah, Nicole, I'll give you the last word here. What do you have to say about all the academic institutions that just kind of took advantage of this blank check that the government provided?
Yeah, I mean, certainly that happened in some cases, and we need to take, again, a hard look at the cost of college, but we also need to take a hard look at what this country is doing to invest in things like apprenticeships and community colleges that can provide a lot of job training that's very crucial. I grew up, my mother was the local president of the American Federation Teacher Union at the community college. And they provided some amazing education and a way to have a great career where you can live a middle class lifestyle. And that's what we need to take a look at funding out of the Department of Education as well.
Well, ladies, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Be sure to follow us at BoldTV on the social media platform of your choice. We'll see you soon.